Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Vicki Howie of ChakraBoosters.com, the creator of Chakra Boosters Healing Tattoos. And welcome to this 5th video in my series where we're doing fun word games that boost and balance each chakra. So what we're doing is we're taking the first letter of each chakra and then finding 7 to 10 words that relate to the healing of that chakra. So it's a good way to discover more about the chakras and also to get really quick little tips on how you can actually boost and heal them. And in doing this, we're being playful, and studies have shown that when you're playful, you learn more, you grow more. So that's what I'm doing with this. That's what I'm all about with this. So let's talk about the throat chakra, because today I'm going to share with you my 7 favorite T words for the throat chakra. The throat chakra, of course, is located, big surprise, in the throat. I'm wearing my blue shirt today because the throat is blue. It is the element of sound or frequency or vibration, depending on how you want to look at it or interpret it. And it's all about expression. People know that, but it's also about receiving sound. Your ears, as well as your jaw, your throat, your vocal cords, your mouth, all of these areas are involved in your throat chakra energy. It's also about it's the highest masculine. The odd chakras are the masculine, the root, the solar plexus, and the throat chakra. They're also where the bandhas, the locks, are in yoga, if you're a yogi and you're familiar with that, which just says it's a contractive chakra by nature. It deals with the external world. It deals with achievement, and in this case it's the highest achievement. So it's actually, the throat chakra relates to innovators, to the great people, the people who have brought about change, especially through inspired communication, like MLK and JFK and Gandhi and any of the great leaders who have brought us change through the communication channel, through inspired communication. It's also the first of the upper chakras, because we have 3 lower chakras, then we have the heart as a bridge, and then we have 3 upper chakras that are related to our spiritual experience and are connected to the everlasting, unlimited aspect of ourselves, the spiritual aspect. So this is where the magic begins, because the heart is the bridge, but the lower chakras are all about the physical world. And when we get to the throat chakra, we're getting to the ethereal template, which is the area where we put in visions and words, and out of that we manifest what we want in the physical world. So this is like the alchemy, the magic, the mystical begins. Can you feel that? It's also the innovative, where we can make changes in the world. It's the growth chakra. It's there's a certain honor here. This is the highest masculine, like when a man will die for what he believes in, or a woman too, the masculine in a woman. When someone will give up their life for what they believe in, that is them expressing throat, right? Expressing that, or someone really, really takes their words seriously, which is what you don't see as much anymore. But there were days gone by where I've been watching a show called Outlander, and it's very interesting to watch the codes of honor. The way they had to live at a survivalistic level, but yet the codes of honor were so important. And I feel like in our culture, we've lost a lot of that. Well, that is part of the throat. The masculine honor, keeping your vows, keeping your word, dying for what you believe in. Those kinds of things. Can you feel that? So that's the throat chakra. So what are my 7 words for the throat chakra? Can you feel into it? You could even pause the video here and make a list of words that you can feel into or think about that would help to boost and heal your throat chakra. And now I will begin and share mine. Number one, T word number one, is truth. This is not just a chakra of expression, but a chakra of masculine honor. Masculine not being men, masculine being the energy of masculine energy. The outward world focused. It's a contractive energy versus a law expansive energy. It's got, it's aligned. And this is the chakra of that. So truth here, it's not just expression. Truth and authenticity are huge in the throat chakra, gigantic. What's your truth? Now, when we think of truth with a capital T, that's spiritual truth. That's crown chakra truth. That's the truth that is true for everyone, or everyone's truth being honored. In the throat, it's where we find our individual truth. Now, that having been said, it is also the fifth chakra, so it's after the heart, after the fourth chakra. So it's not about brutal honesty. It's not about just giving your opinion and just throwing it out. This is a more honorable kind of truth where it isn't so much that it's not at all actually, that you're denying someone else's truth, but you're sticking with your own. It's not that I deny yours, but I own mine. And I let you own yours. Can you feel that? So this is where you learn to express your truth. Now there's some literal truth here, but it's not so much the literal truth of what someone else would have you say, but more your truth, your perspective, what comes authentically from you. Perspective is a really good word here, because there's a truth to having your own perspective. And that's really what this personal throat chakra is more about. It's more about your truth. Where, for instance, I was telling you, I've been watching Outlander, and you might have two men with different personal truths, and they may die for those truths. They may go to a duel or something. And I'm not saying that that's what we should do, but I'm just saying that is an indicator of they are so aligned with their own truth. And it's not even that they're trying to convince the other person, they're just willing to stand for their own truth that deeply. So what is your truth? And can you, as an evolving being, realize that your literal truth will evolve and will change? Your literal purpose, your literal authenticity, all of those things will evolve and change because you are more of a verb than a noun. I was going to say a nerb. I was going to mix nouns and verbs. So you are more of a verb. We feel ourselves as being nouns. We say I am this body, this person, but really we are processes. By the time this video ends, you're a different person than when it begins. We're always in process. So the first word is truth. What is your truth? What is your truth? And on many different levels, right? There might be more superficial truths about what you like to eat or do. And then there might be really deep truths about what you would be willing to die for, like what you believe in so deeply. T word number 2 is actually a bit of a T phrase. It's 2 words. Take in. When I first started doing chakra work, I got kind of caught up in this idea that the throat chakra is all about expression. And I still, doing all these videos and doing teaching, I still get lost in that misperception. I still get lost sometimes in believing that throat chakra is outward. It's just as inward. So it's very important that you take in as equally as you can with what you put out. So as you put out your truth, can you listen to others' truths, which will balance and give you equilibrium within? Can you listen to sounds far away I have an embodiment video for the throat chakra that actually takes you through an exercise for that, and I'll put the link for the video below. Can you really take in, because as you take in sounds farther and farther away, and you take in frequencies and vibrations that aren't just coming from the inside out, but that you're drawing from the outside in, you really mature and anchor and even enliven your throat chakra. So take in from others and your surroundings. T word number 3 is another short T phrase, and it is tune in. We're beginning the spiritual chakras when we get to the throat, so it's time to tune in. And because this is a sound element chakra, it's about tuning into your own inner environment. So you're expressing yourself, you're listening and allowing others to express themselves, and then you're literally tuning in to any other, or to, I shouldn't say any other, the way that those vibrations mix. The way that your truth and what you believe at one moment is then mixed with what you receive from others. And then you tune in. And as you tune in, you get to listen to a renewed self over and over and over again. So you're constantly rebirthing. It's incredible. So listen, not just outwardly, but listen inwardly. Tune in for more throat chakra power. T word number 4 is transmute. I mentioned it in the introduction that this is the beginning of the alchemy of being in the timeless realm of the spiritual. So this is, and it's the bridge, like the heart helps the throat to make this bridge to the physical world, to the lower chakras, which are really all about to-do lists and material world and cause and effect. And then you come up into the throat, and this is where magic begins, where there is wizardry, where there is possibility. Can you feel it? This is the home of your etheric template. So it's about how you use visions and words consciously to begin to bring in the energy, the seeds of the things that you want to manifest. So like you can conjure up words, and people say you call a spell from spelling because words have so much power. And I think there is a connection there, right? And this is the transmutation chakra. This is all about growth. When I feel into the caterpillar becoming the butterfly, the caterpillar is very, very 3D, and then is flying with spiritual freedom, right? Now, granted, the butterfly is still 3D, but I think it's symbolic of the possibilities when we grow, when we fly, when we go into the spiritual realm. So this is the gateway, the first of 3 upper chakras, which are spiritually oriented, which brings us into the world of wizardry, magic, play, alchemy. Does it feel fun? I hope it feels fun, because that's what it's about. So transmute or transmutation is the 4th T word. Growth and change happens in the throat. So how do you play with that? By inviting the spiritual magic, the power of words, and playing with words and playing with visions and setting new intentions through the highest masculine vow of the throat chakra of what you desire to create. T word number 5. It's interesting because I just was doing something very spiritual, magical, this alchemy word of transmute, and now I'm going to do the most physical word on this list, which is thyroid. I've noticed through my clients that there's a lot of thyroid issues in the world now. And I think it's because we're really coming into our throat. We're moving from the power and 3D realm of the solar plexus into the heart and into the throat, the alchemy, the magic. And as we do this, we're needing to literally have more awareness of the thyroid. Now, I have videos around, you want to increase usually or make sure you're getting enough iodine. That's one thing for the thyroid. You can also have exercises. One really good way to work your thyroid while also opening your capacity to express your truth is to do an exercise called the yes-no. And you go yes and no. And you feel your boundaries in the no and your openness in the yes. And you go back and forth, enlivening both, strengthening both at these polar ends so that you can embrace life, everything in between the complete yes and the complete no. And at the same time, if you do chin down and you do contraction and then you do expansion, sorry if that was loud in my mic, you are also working, you're actually acting like you're massaging your thyroid. So when we do this drop chin, what is often called the Jalandhara Bandha, the throat lock in yoga, when we draw the chin down and kind of create this attractive double chin, thing. When we squeeze that, we're actually squeezing, clearing out the thyroid. And when we open it, we're stretching and expanding. So if you just did this every day, a little bit of this, that would be very helpful to the thyroid. The yes-no is helpful with that movement. It just gives it a reason for being. Foods, I will leave a link for foods that boost the throat, because those usually help the thyroid, and I know there's at least a couple in there that help the thyroid. So be aware of your thyroid. Massage the thyroid in the way that you move your neck, and look at foods that will help your thyroid. And I have a friend, if you're a yogi, you might want to do the queen and king poses in yoga, the headstand and the shoulder stand. I had a friend who had Graves' disease, big problem with the thyroid, and the doctor was trying to take out her thyroid. And for like 6 months, she did a 3-minute headstand and a 3-minute shoulder stand. And within 6 months, she had no sign of Graves' disease. So the thyroid is this part of us that seems susceptible right now for all of us. I'm seeing lots of thyroid issues. So if you're just beginning to have some slight markers of thyroid problems, I really invite you to look at foods that can help boost it, to do the neck exercises I showed, and to just really love up your thyroid. Okay? Word number 6, T word, is trust. Now, I did an interview with my friend Lisa Peterson. She talked a lot about trust in regard to the throat in her series on money, on the money lenses, and how people who are lacking throat chakra will lack trust in others or themselves, one or the other, the two extremes. Total lack of trust in self means trusting others too much. Total lack of trust of others means relying on self too much. And she said either one of these extremes weren't really healthy for the throat chakra, especially in regard to dealing with finances. But I think it applies to everything, because trust has to do with, okay, someone gives you their word, and can you trust that they'll keep it? Or you give your word, and can you trust yourself to keep it? Vows are a huge part of the throat chakra. So trust brings in this heart energy into the throat chakra. And it's very much, though, about the throat, because it's about whether we are keeping our vows. And this is where it becomes very important for you to remember that you are always with yourself. So you can fool anyone else. You could say one thing and do another, but you're always watching yourself. So in order to have self-trust, you need to be clear and open about the vows you're making to others that you're hearing yourself make. And is there an effort to show up, to keep your word? Keeping your word is very, very important with the throat chakra, or at least giving it your best effort. Life changes, things happen, but being honoring of that word, not just throwing it away, not just saying, I never said that, or not just being uncaring about it, but taking responsibility. Oh, yes, I said that, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to make that. Can we readjust that? That would be where the feminine meets the masculine, right? We could readjust, but you're still taking responsibility for the initial vow. So this trust, I'm asking you to be more aware of your vows and not to give them away too easily. For instance, don't make a vow if you're not sure that you can keep it or you want to keep it. Just don't make that vow, because you yourself lose trust in yourself when you don't keep vows. And our trust in ourselves is very, very important. So you can make vows and keep them and grow in your trust. You can also choose to not make as many vows because you just don't want that pressure on yourself. And as long as that's still true to who you are, meaning you really aren't clear about those vows, then it's actually quite fitting. It's exactly what you want to do. You want to say to the person, I can't really make that promise or that agreement right now. Why? Because that's your truth. That is the truth at any given moment. And if the truth is you can feel it and you want to make the vow, then you do that and you make it. And in both cases, you follow up with communication that honors those vows, even if you can't actually complete them or accomplish them. Can you feel how good and clear and complete that is? It comes full circle. So that's T word number 6. And our final T word for the throat chakra is number 7, transformation. This is the growth and transformation chakra. Transformation that you do only in the lower chakras. The third chakra takes a lot of action, so we often will take courses and do this and learn things, and we'll transform in certain ways. But that transformation is transformation without magic. It's transformation staying within the same ego parameters. So your ego isn't dying. Nothing major is changing except you're learning new skills. You're in school. That's funny. You're transforming at a below ego level, meaning you're transforming within the confines of your existing paradigm. The transformation here is a capital T. Boop. Capital T. It's growth. It is the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. This is the big T. And this requires real spiritual courage. Courage to allow certain things to die. The things that have created comfort. The things that your body's used to. And you can begin by changing little things that allow your body to get comfortable toward the thing that you want. But just doing that alone won't be enough. There needs to be an actual stepping into and willingness to stepping into a new perspective and a willingness, a deep willingness to let something, maybe even something that's served you, to die. Because think about the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. There's been nothing wrong with the caterpillar's existence. Nothing wrong. Its feet, its 100 feet or whatever, all the little feet have worked. I'm thinking of a centipede. So the caterpillar's little feet have worked. It can eat on the leaf. It can hang out with other caterpillars. It very well enjoys life, probably. There's nothing missing. So to the caterpillar, it would seem really weird to let go of all its little feet and its furriness and to grow wings and to become this entirely different being. From the caterpillar's perspective, that would only seem like loss. But of course, for anyone watching from the outside, it's like, wow. And of course, for the caterpillar, when it gets to the other side and sees that it can fly and it's beautiful, it's got all these new freedoms, it's literally a form of magic. This, the throat, is the magic chakra. So if you're willing to dive into the void, if you're willing to trust that your wings will grow, this becomes a chakra of incredible transformation. Not just change, not just ego habit change, but actual transformation where you sort of go into a spiritual slumber and you emerge as another level of being. It feels very magic to me. So I'm glad that's number 7. We're going to leave it with that. What are your favorite T words for the throat chakra? Things related to purpose and the highest masculine, to honor, to communicating, to taking in communications, to working with the etheric template. All of these things. Do you have any T words that you'd like to share? Feel free to do that. In the meantime, I hope you'll play with the T words that I have shared here. And I hope you have a wonderful week full of really uncovering more and more of your authentic self, your deepest purpose, your highest honor, and the magic that exists within you when you take your 3D self up into the spiritual realm. I'm sending you so much love. Blessings.